Oh, and you don't need to expect us. We're already here.
Hi everybody, it's me, the Fetch, host of Inside the Eye Live. Before the Sunday mainstream media political pundit talk shows, there is Inside the Eye Live, where we break down some of the weekly mainstream media talking points before the talking points even get aired. Add in some entertaining stories, weather, cats, intriguing and informative guests, and you get one of the most listened to Saturday morning streaming media political talk shows going today. And it's all right here on our flagship station, Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. So join me, the Fetch, for Inside the Eye Live every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern. It is truly intelligent media for the politically aware.
Welcome to Sacred Matrix, a divine paradigm of love and universal consciousness, with your host, Janet Kira Lesson and Dr. Sasha Lesson.
Together, we transform the world.
And now, here are your hosts, Janet Kira and Dr. Sasha Lesson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sacred Matrix on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. I'm your host, Janet Kira Lesson, with my co-host, the wonderful Dr. Sasha Lesson. And today we have two very incredible guests, Gordon James Gianninoto and Janet Louise Stanley. And I'm going to read a little bit about the bio. At the second hour, we're going to have Glenn Bogue join us in a panel, but the first hour will be exclusive with Gordon and Janet. And I'm going to read the bio because it'll give you the necessary background on who these two people are. So Gordon is an attorney, contractor, author, photographer, artist, and extraterrestrial contactee. He had many childhood UFO and ET encounters. He saw his first UFO in 1964, which was a 1-mile diameter mothership, and it was launching 3 saucers over San Juan, Puerto Rico harbor. And then he was selected as a future astronaut at age 15, and he received a grant from the National Science Foundation to study astronomy, astrophysics, and space science at the Hayden Planetarium in New York City. He attended the University of Virginia School of Aerospace Engineering, and he later got a degree in psychology at the University of New Haven, Connecticut. And while going to law school in New Hampshire, he worked as an intern at the United Nations Center on Transnational Corporations on a code of moral conduct. And upon graduation, he worked as a hearing officer for the Environmental Board of the state of Vermont before opening up a trial law practice in Connecticut. And then, he worked as a commercial fisherman and anchored and contractor since. In a lifetime of many psychic, telepathic, and ET experience, he had his first vision of poleshift in 1973, the long and detailed dream, and had a waking vision of the same thing in 1988. He realized that poleshift would bring open contact with ETs. Together with his wife of 22 years, Janet, they have seen dozens of ships. And they discovered Zeta Talk in 2006 and have become strong supporters. For more than 20 years, they have lectured widely, and they've been on many, many radio interviews on the approach of Planet X and the poleshift, and open contact with unselfish ETs. We're going to talk about selfish and unselfish ETs on the show, and frequency or dimensional change for the entire Earth within 100 years after the poleshift. And so we are, he writes for UFO Digest, and we are about to experience a poleshift, the crust of the planet separating the core and reattaching. Would you like to read Janet's bio?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to continue. So Janet she likes to travel around the world. She's been traveling for years and visited Australia, New Zealand, Russia, and she grew fascinated with shamanic practices and animal whispering. In early childhood, she had many UFO contacts and experiences with ETs, and around 1991, she discovered she had become a psychometric psychic. I'll have to hear what that is, and took many psychic development and shamanic courses. And she found that her skills were far more advanced than her teachers. She had many out-of-body experiences on saucers. She sounds like me. And realized she had many Zeta babies. And was even invited to visit with her children that they might get to know their mother. She's a clairvoyant. She sees with her eyes dead people and ghosts. I do that too. But fourth-dimensional, not only those, but fourth-dimensional ETs. She's had over 3 dozen close-up physical experiences with ET ships. And with Gordon, they've had saucers and ETs in their backyard and ETs in the house. And having had crystal clear precognitive dreams of bullshit flooding, survival, and the spiritual graduation of Earth. And she and her husband live without plumbing and heat. They're crazy. With wood only on a mountain top. Coastal marine blueberry farm, and they raise bees and chickens. Let's see, one more thing. Janet is known as a survivor of abuse, and she has found spirituality. She said she's found spirituality in everything you do. Her favorite UFO-related experience is the 3 days that she spent with Dr. John Mack in Rangeley, Maine in 2003. And she has a relationship with her 100% human, unselfish, extraterrestrial, Zeta, hybrid children. And Dr. Lesson would like to say something before we bring on these 2 incredible people.
Yeah, I'd like to say something about, I know poleshift sounds pretty scary, but I want to tell you that I lived through one, and it was really good. And us old guys know the poleshift that really made a difference to the world was when the Soviet puppet, General Jaruzelski, was shifted out of Poland in favor of Lech Walesa and Free Poland. That's a pole shift I liked.
All right, so welcome, Gordon and Janet. Hello, can you hear us?
Hello.
Yeah, we can. You were fading away. I thought maybe the high tide came in and took you.
I heard a water sound. I thought it was coming from your end.
Sort of a roar in the background. I don't know what that is.
It's coming from your end. Wow. Yeah. That's interesting. Well, if we have to, just to let the listeners know, Sean will shift us to our cell phones and home phones. But we're going to try the Skype thing because it's so much easier on all of us to do Skype.
We love Skype. And we love Revolution Radio. And this is listener supported. So if you don't make a donation by going to freedomslips.com and scrolling down a little bit, you can click on the thing to make a PayPal donation, a credit card, or a debit card. Or you can scroll all the way down and you can make send a check or a money order to the owner. And this money goes just for overhead. This does not go, nobody is paid. And recently I became the host of the Whole Agenda radio show on Friday nights at midnight Eastern time till 2 a.m. And, I've been talking a lot about disasters. And if you donate $100, you get 35,000 non-GMO seeds in a freezer pack that'll last for years. And listen, you want to find out what we're talking about here, go outside your door and eat out of your yard for one day next week. Don't eat a single thing that you bought or somebody gave you or anything. Just eat right out of your yard for a whole day just to try it out. And you're going to see how important this freezer pack of 35,000 seeds, and that's if you donate $100. So I hope people are motivated to support this because, this is information you are not getting anywhere else. This is a rare opportunity to really learn some things that are very meaningful for your life. And even if you can only give $1, and I understand there are some people that can't, so call up your friends and say, listen to this, because we know that the more people that listen, there's always a certain percentage that donates. And it turns out that maybe 60% of the donations are from the host. Now, can you imagine? We're not even paid, and we're the ones supporting the ability to be on the air speaking. So this is really, if you're listening to the show right now, it's okay to donate $1, and your credit card will donate $1. So just go to freedomslips.com and think about it. This is, do you want to support this or not? And I hope the answer is yes. So I'm sorry to take up that time, Janet and Sasha, but I thought it was important.
I always do my commercial at the top of the hour, but I think you covered the bases. So thank you so much for doing that. And the seeds, it's important because the GMO seeds won't reproduce, right? And these seeds, you can harvest the seeds and keep going with them for generations, right?
Here in Maui, we have an initiative right now to ban Monsanto, who's trying to, they've paid a fortune, they've just put all the media out, full things, but the citizens of Maui are going to vote this week, I think it is, and this is it. We don't want Monsanto and their dominant seed, one kind for the whole world here in Maui, because this is where they start their seeds.
Right.
Well, every piece of corn or niblet or whatever it is you're eating from corn is first grown and tested in Maui to be GMO, genetically modified, and by Monsanto and Bayer Chemical. So don't forget Bayer Chemical. They're just as important as Monsanto because the two of them have taken over Maui with this single strain, scientist-designed food, which isn't really food for the body. When you plant a non-GMO seed, its progeny, you can't eat all the food. You have to let some of it go to seed, and you plant it, and it grows next year. Well, hello. You try that with Monsanto seed, it won't. And neither the same with Bayer seed. It won't. Bayer Chemical. So
what they're trying to say here in Maui, that if you vote against GMO, you're actually voting against farmers. So they've anchored it, and they've anchored all the farmers, and they say, don't vote for this bill. It's voting that farmers can't farm, and farming's illegal. So how did they do that?
They've put hundreds of thousands of dollars into their advertising campaign, and they're trying to crush us. But the people of Maui are going to be able to stand up to these monsters.
Yes.
Well, I hope so. And I want to tell you that, we live, as I like to say at the beginning of the Whole Agenda radio show on Friday night, live from a windswept mountaintop on the Maine coast. But that's where we live, and we have a 34-acre blueberry farm. And Maine is attracting young couples who want to become farmers, want to grow healthy food, and want to homestead and make a life for themselves, are moving to Maine in overwhelming numbers. You wouldn't believe. Everywhere you go, you've got farmers markets and organic food and local people that are growing things, and it's just like if you're a young couple and you're thinking, where's a place where we could go to make a future for ourselves that's a safe land for the future, it's Maine, and it's just amazing what's happening here.
Well, that's really good to hear. Everybody wants to surf is moving here. Surfing sun.
Yeah.
And retired. But we're on a mountaintop, well, not on the top. We're at the foothills of the West Maui Mountains. So there's 12 miles of pristine rainforest behind us, which is in danger from development and pollution. And it has now become the wettest spot on Earth. It moved from Kauai about a year ago. And we're always trying to help, preserve the rainforest. We're sitting here, and there's so many unconscious people. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys can develop Maine and preserve part of it, keep it natural for future generations.
So tell us a pole shift. Rains are going to fall. And what else?
Oh, wait, before you get to that, I want to go back to how did you and Janet meet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is a wonderful story, and it just shows that there's a lot more going on out in the world than most people would think. And I decided to teach myself telepathy. So in 1968, because really, what are you going to do? Go to school for telepathy?
Right.
So I just started taking walks at night and looking up at the stars and asking if there were, because I believe it's the same up there as down here. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly. So who would want to have anything to do with the bad or the ugly? So I said, if there's any good ones out there, please contact me. And so then 20 years later,